Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the Starline by a funny comedian. He won Last Comic Standing. You've seen him on Superstore, Gentefied, and his many specials. He was back here for episode 100. We welcome back our friend, Felipe Esparza. What's up, fool?
What's up, fool?
Felipe, let's go beyond the mic. You're on your At My Leisure tour. It's going international. What was the difference in the crowds overseas than in the U.S.?
You know what? For me, it wasn't that much different.
Really?
I saw I thought it would be like when I went to Australia, I thought I was gonna see like people like Crocodile Dundee, but when I got there, it was just like Latino Australian people. Like I saw a lot of Salvadorian people, a lot of people from South America, and mostly like Lebanese and locals, a lot of Hungarians.
Your new Netflix stand-up comedy special, Raging Fool, premieres on February 11th. It's been taped and in the can. How do you see your comedy since you taped it?
How do I see it? Oh, man, I see myself maturing as a stand-up comedian and growing with my audience, So I know what the age gap is and what they get. So I write jokes now about my life. It's like some of them from me growing up. So now I talk about getting older.
How hard is it to write a joke now from when you started?
I think for me, to write great jokes is hard, but for me to write jokes, I've been doing it for a long time now. So I just got to think about it, sit down, and the hard part is sitting down and writing. So what I do is I listen to my show every night. If I do an hour on stage, I'm listening to the show, and the next day I spend a whole hour listening to it and taking notes, and then I come up with new ideas and how to write the joke. So I write a joke, and then I write it like I rewrite it with different words, and I rewrite it like if somebody was to steal the joke and then rewrite it. I do it that way too. So I write it like 3 different ways and find out which one's the funniest.
Lisa, your wife, directed the special. How difficult is it when she gets to nag at you at home and at work?
I don't know, man. I don't know if she's working or not working right now. I gotta yell, cut.
Does she yell cut at home?
No, she just cut.
Felipe, you've been podcasting for years. How do you keep it fresh with every episode?
Oh, man, that's the hard part, man. How do I keep it? I can keep it fresh, but how do I keep going with guests?
Wow.
Because there's so many other podcasts. And some people got to pick and choose which podcast they can do now. And the hard part is getting someone to be a guest now, because I asked someone, hey, man, you want to do my podcast? Hey, man, I was going to call you to do my podcast.
Yeah, you just do it at the same time.
Yeah. But I have another podcast now. It's called History for Fools. And that was really fun because we get to pick a subject. And then my friend, the co-host, Butch Escobar, we really go nerding out on the subject, reading books on audiobooks and looking for documentaries on YouTube and more information on TikTok. So last week we did a History for Fools on the 1916 Easter uprising of Ireland, because I went to Dublin. And I was in Ireland, so I got to visit I don't know the name of the prison, but it's called Gillingham, I think. And I got to witness where most of the Irish people from the Easter uprising were assassinated.
Wow.
And then I learned more about so we dug in about that stuff, and we talk about it. We're throwing comedy into it, So we learned about Irish food. The common food right now is Irish spice bag, and I went to the Guinness factory, and we talked about the Guinness beer, and we had a good time talking about Ireland on our podcast.
Felipe Esparza out on tour, and he's coming to a city near you. And Felipe joins us beyond the mic for the Rocking 88 random questions. Answer with the first thing that comes to your mind, Felipe. There's no pressure.
No pressure.
Most underrated dish your mom made for you growing up?
Beans and flour tortillas.
Would you travel to space if you could?
Yes.
Favorite of all the Golden Girls?
Esther Rowe.
What's the number one item on your bucket list?
Go to Rome.
Why?
Because I always like Olive Garden, and I want to go to real Italian food.
Did you ever meet Fernando Valenzuela? And when was the last time you saw him pitch?
I met Fernando Valenzuela, yes, and the last time I saw him pitch, it was when he was pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies, I think.
Felipe, if you could be invisible for one day, what would you do?
What? Go into a strip bar without paying.
What's your favorite game show of all time?
The Price is Right.
If you could live off the radar, where would you live?
Amsterdam.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Belgian fries and a stroopwafel.
Felipe Esparza joins us beyond the mic for the back half. When people come see your show, what do you want them to enjoy?
I want them to enjoy the laughter and the camaraderie, and they might run into an old friend from high school. So it's always fun for fans when they run into an old friend from high school they haven't seen in years, and it's like a family reunion for them, and a high school reunion. It's like meeting everybody for the big football game.
It's almost like going to a Dodger game with you. Everyone wants to meet you.
Yeah, man. One day I'm gonna go in there and coach, see what happens.
Now they have a chance of winning again.
They could, man. I remember we used to have a lot of jokes like about the Dodgers giveaways. Every team had a giveaway, and we used to do mama jokes on the Dodger giveaways. Like today was a weekend where the Dodgers will give away helmets. Like Dodger helmets. They're like plastic, but they were cool to wear as a kid. And we would say stuff like, "Your mother's so ugly, she went to Dodgers Stadium helmet weekend and they gave her a construction helmet." Or, "Oh, your mother's so ugly, she went to find appreciation day, they didn't appreciate her."
Felipe, you're a worldwide sensation. Who are the 3 comics that make you laugh now?
Oh, man, there's a comedian named Todd Barry from New York. He's been around and he's funny. You guys should check him out. Todd Barry, he's very deadpan and very smart. Good writing, good writing. You can tell when a comedian writes great when they don't break character on stage. They just say it. And I still like Dave Attell, and I listen, but mostly there's this comedian out of Canada. He lives in London now. His name is Sir Stuart Francis, and he does nothing but one-liners. If you like the old school Stephen Wright, Rodney Dangerfield, rapid machine gun jokes, this guy has a funny bit about that. Like he has a bit about you never know how far a frisbee is till it hits you. And then he has jokes about like I'm late for my overacting class, and then he starts pointing at his watch like a actor. He goes, "I should have been there." And what's great about Francis Stewart is that he's very and they will tell is that they know how to. I don't know how they do it, but they're just natural at starting out with a joke and then at the end bringing it back and then closing with it. Because Francis does a joke about his father taking him to go fishing, and then he says, "I remember swimming back to shore thinking my dad doesn't love it very much."
Felipe, so what's going to be on Raging Fool?
On Netflix, it's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be me talking about my life and hanging out with my wife in different places. Because I remember we did a show with Bert Kreischer and on a cruise ship. And so I made a bit about how there was a swingers couple right next to us, and they didn't invite us once the whole week.
Did you have an upside-down pineapple on your door?
No, but they didn't even invite us. We felt my wife and I, we felt unattractive all week. We felt like the Untouchables.
How is comedy hard and sometimes easier now?
Well, for me, it comes it's like, for me, it's hard if I do stand-up and write it on the internet. Like if I write without my jokes, people don't get it, But if I say them on stage, they get it. People seem to laugh more at my jokes live than they do on the internet. Because when they're at home, they have too much time to think about it, when they're at the club, they think about it, they have another drink. Next joke comes, they forget about it. People at home, they start dwelling on my jokes too long when they should just move on, buddy, and have some nachos. Like I was talking about, like I did this joke, and I said that everybody had the gay, the LGBTQ community, they have pronouns, but I felt like I think ugly people should have pronouns too, like because they feel ashamed of being ugly, like sir, what are your pronouns? Are you ugly? No, sir, my pronouns are hey. This is my wife. Whoa. And this is my daughter, Gigi.
Felipe, what's the best thing about your dog, Bupkis?
Oh, but the best thing about Bupkis, man, is that I found him on the freeway, man, on the side of the freeway. He was a rescue dog, so he comes correct. He knows not to mess around.
What makes preparing for a special different once you've taped it?
Oh man, you feel like a new person. Like you feel like you got the monkey off your back. Like you're relieved. You feel free. Like you release the biggest dump ever. You get tired of the material, doing it over and over, and then doing it the exact way now, just to prepare for the special. Because you gotta do it the same way all the time now, like no messing around, no talking to the audience. So once I got rid of the hour, I felt good. I felt like now I can move on and start new projects, write new material. And what's great is that once I shot the special, all we need is an hour, but I was doing like an hour and 25 minutes, but so they can cut it to an hour. So I ended up having 24 minutes of material to start off with and work with that they didn't put on a special. So I'm already building the next special.
Yeah, building it and getting backed up all over again.
Yes, man. Because I have jokes now about one of my jokes I say is I know I'm at the age now where I'm at a good age right now. Because I'm at the age now where I can watch all my rock bands at Six Flags. I mean, what? You telling me they're performing at 5 p.m.? I'm there.
Especially when they're playing at Disney Springs and you'll be like, yes!
Yes, man. Sometimes you're going to wonder, man, should Ozzy Osbourne should be performing again? I saw him in a wheelchair, man, behind smoke. he was not even. I remember when Ozzy Osbourne used to buy bats. I saw him eating a Cliff Bar.
You finally got merch back into your store. What's the one item you had to have in there that wasn't there before?
We have a shirt now that looks like that has my name on it, and it's orange, and it's perfect. And it has a lucky leaf right on the dot.
How has your life changed in the last couple of years, and do you appreciate home more?
Oh, my life has changed more because I'm traveling more now. I did a show in England. I did a show in Amsterdam, Melbourne, and Sydney, Toronto, Canada, Alberta, Canada, Vancouver, British Columbia. So I'm getting to know different parts of the world, and I'm loving it. Like when I was in Amsterdam, stand-up comedy, I guess, is new to Amsterdam. I didn't know that. So I thought, because they do a lot of improv, and I met a lot of Dutch people. I learned some Dutch words.
What's the worst Dutch word you learned?
Oh, man, I didn't even know. I didn't learn that much. I didn't know that I've been turned down in every language already.
Who has influenced you recently, and how has that improved you as a comedian?
I think of the comedians that are doing well and successful, like Kevin Hart, and the way he markets himself and stays focused. And what's his name? Bert Kreischer. The way he market himself to put his name out there and puts his brand out there, so you could know that everything is Bert. The way he does his podcast and he don't just do stand up, he does other things to keep himself busy, because a lot of comedians from the 80s and 90s, they would be doing stand up and waiting for a sitcom. And now you don't need all of that. You could do it all on your own. there's people who've never been on a Tonight Show who are very successful.
It's time for One Big Question with Felipe Esparza. He is out on tour and his Raging Fool special is coming out on Netflix. Felipe, what's your dream and how has it changed from when you first started comedy?
Oh, my dream was to just be a stand-up comedian, man. And now it's happening and I'm touring more and I'm doing it at the right age. If this would have happened to me when I was young, I would have spent it on a diamond grill. Yes, because a lot of my friends who are making it right now, like I have friends who are very popular, like Ralph Barbosa. He has like a car collection right now. He's doing well. My friend Ken Flores, he's super young. He's like 25. He just bought a diamond teeth for himself.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know. He put like $25,000 in his mouth, and he's doing well. And he's young. And when I first started stand up, it was just me, Gabriel Iglesias, and the successful comedians were like people like Carlos Mencia, Pablo Francisco, Paul Rodriguez, George Lopez. Those people were like unapproachable to us. Like they were like we couldn't reach out to them, you know, like they were far. And now that I'm with social media and different people having different attitudes, you're able to touch comedians and be approachable. Like I know all the comedians. I know a lot of successful Latin comics, and there's more than one. There's a lot. I'm like the sensei of Latino comedy.
Yes, sensei.
Yes, I'm like the no sabo of Latino comedy.
When would you consider yourself a success?
Like people, young comics ask me for advice. I'm like, listen, man. When I started, there was no social media. Unless you want to go to a library, you're talking to the wrong person.
Where can people find you online?
They can find me in line at the unemployment office, at Ralph's. No. They can find on social media, FelipesWorld.com. And also they can find me on Instagram at Felipe Esparza Comedian, Twitter, Funny Felipe. They don't even exist, but they took it down. Oh, man. When they took down TikTok, I was getting scared, man. I was like, whoa, what's next? Porn sites? Because, man, they should just take down porn sites, man. They're the cause of a lot of carpal tunnel in America. We're going to go back to reading about it on books.
What are we going to actually do? Read Playboy?
I know, man. But remember the old school? I don't even know the hustler stories.
Do you have anything coming up on TV other than your upcoming comedy special?
Yes, I am lucky enough to be a guest starring on Tim Allen's new sitcom on ABC, Shifting Gears, with Kat Denning.
3 powerhouses, 1 show.
Yes, man. So probably fit me in.
He would travel to space if he could, would love to retire in Amsterdam, and wants you to watch his special, Raging Fool, on Netflix. He's out on tour right now. Felipe Esparza, thanks once again for taking the time to talk with us.
Thanks for having me. Have a good day.
And that, my friends, is Beyond the Mic. If you're enjoying these conversations, please check out another Beyond the Mic episode to find more actors, artists, and people you need to know. We'd also appreciate a like and subscribe on the Good Pods app.